when we use taxpayers' dollars to rebuild America, we're going to do it by buying America. Buy American products.
I mean, that is rich right there. President Joe Biden's solution to our country's economic problems, he said, buy American, which is a very simple solution, elegant and eloquent, but hard to take seriously after he literally bought millions of dollars worth of COVID-19 test kits from China, masks from China, and we buy billions of dollars of Russian oil every single month. For more on this, let's welcome in Georgia Congressman and House Ways and Means Committee member, Congressman Drew Ferguson. Good to see you again, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Rob. Glad to be with you today.
Great to have you on. Just wondering what your take was on the president's first State of the Union address last night.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty disingenuous, and I think Americans see right through it. The clip you just played about buying American, I think you're spot on with the analysis. Look, he's buying test kits from China. He's buying masks from China. He's, and keep in mind, the things that are driving cost up here are the direct result of Joe Biden's policies. Gas prices and labor costs, distribution costs, everything falls at his feet. He took no responsibility for it and doubled down on the bad policies that are making life hard on American families.
Yeah, he said he wanted to address inflation. He actually called it his top priority. Inflation now 7.5%. That rings of Jimmy Carter. He offered no solutions. This is what he said, 11 words on the crisis at our southern border. Quote, "We need to secure our southern border and fix the immigration system," and nothing else. What'd you make of that?
Listen, it was one of the few times that there was applause from Republicans and Democrats on an issue. We agree that it's time to secure the border. The problem is Americans know that he's being disingenuous. His actions don't line up with his words. He's had an open border, bringing people across the line, fentanyl, human trafficking, people crossing illegally, putting them on buses and bringing them to a community near you. And then he had the audacity to say it's time to fund the police after a campaign of defunding the police.
Right.
The Americans see through the hypocrisy.
Yeah, he said we need to fund the police, but then he said we need to hold them accountable, which is talking out of both sides of your mouth. You should be pro-police, given what's going on in our country. Congressman, were you at his State of the Union address last night? I know several members did not go.
Yes, I was there. I felt like it was important that I attend.
Yeah. Why was everyone socially distanced? I thought we were way past 6 feet apart. So no one had to wear masks, but then everybody was socially distancing.
Listen, those are protocols set by the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. And it's just one more thing that we think is full of hypocrisy and one more thing that we don't agree with. It's all for show. It's all for control. It makes absolutely no sense. And it is just another example of the clown show that is that are the Democrats in control.
I mean, literally, it was so bizarre just to see that. I didn't realize it was going to be that way until I started watching the speech. About 30 seconds left, sir. The president did say last night we will close all airspace to Russian flights. And this morning we're learning that this is from the Kremlin. Russia is apparently open to peace talks and a ceasefire with Ukraine. They might talk in Belarus today or tomorrow. Did the president go far enough? Why didn't he say we're going to reopen Keystone and stop buying Russian oil?
Listen, because I believe that the president does not want America to be energy independent. I don't believe that he sees a pathway forward. I believe that he's going to continue to lean heavily into the Green New Deal. And I believe that, quite candidly, it's bad for America. We can solve the energy problems in America right now, but a big component of that is producing energy right here in America that is clean American natural gas, clean American oil, and making sure that we don't supply our our enemies with the cash from America to fund a war like we've been seeing in Ukraine.
Average price gallon of gas in your state, $3.69 a gallon this morning, almost $1.50 more than it was 1 year ago. Pretty unbelievable. Congressman Drew Ferguson, great to see you as always, sir. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Allison.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. We've all seen the heartbreaking pictures of displaced Ukrainians desperately trying to get out. Up to 300,000 already fleeing the country, every one of them with a story. The tremendous humanitarian effort led by only civilian volunteers is assisting them on the ground. And joining us now is the editor-in-chief of Celebro Media, former BBC reporter and Moscow bureau chief, who has covered Russia for many years, as Chief Leslie Dodd. Thank you so much, and welcome to Wake Up America.
Good morning, Allison.
Good morning. So, Wesley, you're on the Polish side of the Ukraine border. Set the scene for us. What is the level of desperation from these folks? And many of them are traveling with children.
Yeah, it really is heartbreaking. I mean, it's just after lunch here, and people are getting their first hot meal for many, many days. Let me talk to you about how it works here. Now, this is predominantly a road crossing border. So people are coming in from all over Ukraine, where the fighting is going in, and they're reaching the Ukrainian side of the border. Now, from there, there's a kind of relay, if you like. They're being picked up by transport, which is predominantly Polish people from the towns around here, picking people up from that side and shuttling them over the bit in the middle, if you like, to get them to the Polish side of the border. And from there, they're being distributed not just all over Poland, but all over the EU. And that whole operation is completely being run by volunteers. There's no Red Cross on the ground here. There's no UNHCR on the ground here. This is people coming with their cars, with their hearts and their homes to give to people who've lost theirs on that side of the border.
It's unbelievable. Wesley, we know you're seeing horrifying fighting up close. What does that mean for the refugees and others just trying to stay alive?
One of the things you notice here about the people who are coming over, the Ukrainian people are very stoic people. They're very strong people. You may have seen some of the ways that they've been reacting to the invading Russian forces with a great deal of bravery and a great deal of humor. So people are upset when they come over this border. You know, they've left lives behind. It's particularly heartbreaking to see children. Now, one thing I think is changing here is, I mentioned there that this has been a vehicle crossing for most of the time I've been here. I've started in the last hour to see people walking across. Now, that's significant because it's about a mile from one side to the other, and people are just not prepared any longer to wait for the transport. It's well below freezing here, and seeing people walking with just a few small possessions, a few suitcases with their children, just goes to show how desperate they must be. And, you know, when you do speak to them, those who've come from where the fighting is the most intense in the east of Russia, they are just so relieved to be out.
Oh, it's just horrible to think of those babies and children walking in those horrible cold conditions. Thank you so much, Wesley.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.